All right, guys, welcome back to another Monday Night Racing Pro Series recap show. My name is Brandon Hauff. Michael Massie is with us as always, and our special guest this week is Steve Auffant. How's it going, Steve?
It's going great, guys. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Did I say that right?
You nailed it. There's
Did
a
I
lot of
really?
ways to say it, and like my guys at work call me off fart, but they do it intentionally. So we'll go with what you said. I like it.
All right, cool. We'll just call you Steve though. It's fine. But we'll jump right into it. You guys ran the Indy cars at Auto Club last night. Really weird race. I was talking to Mike yesterday after the race, and I just said it was really strange. Like the way it was, like you guys had green flag runs, and then you guys get a caution, and then you'd have like a 5 lap run, and then I think there was like one or two big wrecks. I know both of you had decent races going. Um, and I know they ended up kind of different. But by the end, we only had 10 cars on the lead lap. So that kind of explains how the race
Jeez.
went, but I'll let you guys talk about your races. We should mention Shane Van Gisbergen once again won the race as he seems to usually do when he runs these races, which, whether he does it clean or dirty, he seems to always come out on top.
He's a
That's for
bully.
another day.
I just don't get how he can wreck someone with an Indy car and not wreck himself.
Yeah. Yeah. He seems to be
I,
good at doing that. But
I've even heard some guys were bump drafting each other, and I just don't understand how they were pulling that off.
yeah, I was watching a few guys bump draft last night. I don't know how they did it, but they did. But anyway, we'll let you guys talk about it. We'll start with you, Mike. I know you're gonna have your best finish of the season, and then kind of just went downhill. So what happened there?
Yeah, so it was kind of a wacky race, like you said. I don't really understand. Sometimes I was really fast, sometimes I wasn't. I felt like I was doing the exact same thing every corner, and sometimes the thing just planted and I just zipped around the corner. Other times the thing just pushed up to the wall. So it just made no sense to me. But anyways, I started out just running real conservative, as I tend to do because I think there's gonna be a lot of wrecks in these races. Um, and sure enough, about lap 24 of the race, uh, Garrett Smithley and I were racing. He did the slide job, came up in front of me. I was so excited about the run that I was going to have to get back under him, coming off the corner, that I didn't even notice that a wreck happened right ahead. And so I just completely just arca braked him because he checked up hard and I just like could not react quick enough to how quickly he checked up, knocked him up into Seth Eggert. Uh, I apologized to Garrett afterwards. I felt bad about it. Brett Baldock got involved as well. So yeah, that was the deal where if I was looking up further ahead, and paying attention to what people were saying and stuff, I probably could have avoided it and checked up myself, but just dumb on my part. So there goes the fast repair. And while I was limping back to pit road to get there, I ended up by the time I got off pit road, I'd lost a lap. And so then there's so many people that were lapped. The next caution comes out pretty quickly. I guess it was a decent run to the next caution. And I don't get the free pass, but a whole bunch of us, I know Nick Olson, who you spot for, Brandon, was one of those who we all took the wave around. And it was a gamble. We could go about 10 more laps on fuel. But we needed that quick caution to for it to pay off. It's the only way we were gonna get back into it. So then I think I saved gas a little too well, I think, because Nick and those other guys pitted like a lap or two before I had to pit. And so I didn't have anybody to draft with when I came out. So I was just by myself, was just watching the leader on the interval just get closer and closer as I'm just running by myself, about to lose a second lap, and then I get the caution. And I'm the only one because Nick was two down. It got back to one down, and a couple other guys they were one down, but I was just trying to stay on lead lap. Um, got that caution, got the free pass. It's the only guy a lap down. It was like new life. It was like I came back from this thing. I worked my way back into the top 15. If I just survived, it would have been a top 10. I'm sure about that.
No
And then
doubt.
a wreck happens right in front of Justin Malillo. I'm on Justin Malillo's outside. A wreck happens right in front of him. He moves up to avoid it. Bam! Just puts me right in the wall. I mean, he didn't mean to, obviously. I don't blame him at all for trying to avoid the wreck, but it was just wrong place, wrong time on my end. And yeah, that end of the night, I got to pit road. It told me you got too much damage. So 22nd place. So
Yeah, it's kind of solid still for wrecking out.
I know that's a
yeah, for
I
sure.
finished,
That's
I
true.
finished worse running all the laps in some races this season.
Hey, you know, that like I said, it just explains what type of race it was. If we had 10 cars in the lead lap and you could finish 22nd and get destroyed like that. And it wasn't even in the last like 2-3 laps. It was literally a couple, what, 10 to go, something like that.
I think it was. I think I saw the results. I was like 28 laps down.
That's
It
crazy.
was
And you
like
were 22nd.
So that's the carnage right there.
I know, right? What about you, Steve? How'd your race go last night? And kind of talk us through what you went through.
Well, I was pretty hyped up about this race because when it comes to IndyCar and 87s, like those are my bread and butter, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to be a contender tonight. So I had to take some time, lay back, see how the car was in dirty air because I just practiced by myself and figured out at first and kind of just laid back, missed a few wrecks. Then I think I was in 13th-ish, something like that, in the lead pack. You just want to be in the lead pack towards the end of these things. And I don't know, Brandon, I call him Nick Ulster. Nick Ulster ran into the back of me and kind of wiggled down and got hit by Malillo. And then we smashed into each other again as we were wrecking, burned up a fast. Listen, Nick, I like Nick. Nick's a good guy. I just like to clown him a little bit. So
I think everybody does.
Came back out. Yeah. Came back out. I was like, all right, I burned my fast repair, but I'm fast as hell. I'm feeling confident. Felt like it was time to be towards the front. So normally I'm the kind of guy that, like, Massie's the same way. We kind of back off and we just wait for the chaos to happen, and then we move in when it's time to move in. And I'm actually not real sure what happened or who it was that wrecked going into 3, but I just got on the brakes and just drove head on into them. Still limped my car back to the pits, but like Massie, as soon as I hit the pit, too much damage to repair, and I was a little irritated, so I just bailed out. I don't even know exactly where I finished. It was probably in the 20s somewhere because of how many cars were already out. But
yeah, I think it was 23rd.
I still got to check on it. Yeah, it's a scab right now. It's not a scar yet. It hasn't healed. I haven't I haven't looked yet. I don't want to. It's still Tuesday, guys. You know, I think it's Tuesday. Yeah,
It is.
Well, why don't you tell the people watching what you said to Brandon before we started recording about a spotting for Nick Olson?
What did I say, Massie? I don't remember exactly.
Something about glasses.
Um,
you questioned his eyesight a little bit.
Yeah, I did question his eyesight. I know. So I part of it's kind of on me because I yelled at Presley Sora. He moved up to block my run, and I kind of tapped the brakes. I'm like, I'm not ready to get into a mix yet. And then Nick just ran into the back of me, which destroyed my rear wing. I didn't know that. It's pretty funny if you look at the replay because I look like a clown because I just kind of wiggled down the track onto the apron, and Malillo's rightfully so. He's just dived down to the apron to go around all of it, and I just drive right. That tends to be kind of the way our Discord works. We always get in each other's way. and destroy each other. But yeah, yeah, I called him Nick Ulcer, but
Listen, man, I
I
take no offense. I take
no
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 offense.
no Nick's cool. It's stuff like that happens, especially in M&R, and especially when you're towards the front, and he owned it, so I'm not gonna hate him for that. I don't get in a lot of incidents, Massie. You know how it is. We don't get in a lot of incidents, so it's when it does happen, you're just like, ah, dang it. But hey, go on to the next week. Try harder.
Yeah, that's all you can really do. I mean, you know this league, it changes every week, and
Absolutely.
different. I mean, even though you have the same players every week, sort of up front, different car and track combo, you can always have those, few guys that run up front in that car and track, and then the next week they might struggle. But
And
everybody.
it's fun. It's fun because we all know each other. We all know what each other's going to do, and we it's fun because we can get over the race, we can go into the group chat, and we can just lay it out and just lay into each other. And then the next week we're like, all right, next race, let's go. All right, I forgot about it, or maybe we didn't forget about it. We'll see what happens.
That too. But anyway, now that we've heard about last night, I'll let you talk about yourself a little bit, Steve. How you're involved in the motorsports industry, how you're involved in M&R, how long you've been involved in it, and sim racing itself. So go ahead, Mike's all yours.
Um, yeah. So I owe I owe my membership in M&R to Chris Wellner. Um, we we were in a so I was new to the service during the pandemic. I think it was 2020 when that started. Whenever the NASCAR guys started racing the iRacing, yeah,
Yeah, it was 2020. Yep.
yeah, yeah. I had my that's when I had my daughter, so things are cloudy too there. So we got into a league with Josh White, who was an ARCA driver. He's from West Virginia. Josh White Esports. I met him through Jason Keffer. Jason Keffer drove for the junior motorsports for the NASCAR Heat Leagues. So we started with the NASCAR Heat Leagues, which they're kind of terrible, but
I could have told you that.
yeah, we met up there. I met up with Henry Hobbs, Josh Slate, Adam Thomas, a couple other guys. They decided to start a podcast, and eventually turned into a media company, which was Behind the Wall. I bought iRacing and asked them if I could represent them on iRacing with the Josh White Esports League. Willner happened to be in it. Dylan Welch happened to be in it. I don't remember exactly how, but we found out that Willner kind of told us, hey, I'm in this other league, and this Kyle Busch is in it, and Ford Martin, and Ron Capps, and all these guys. And we were kind of like, I don't want to be, too forward with it, but hey, man, if we could join you, that would be pretty cool. And you know what? I got to give props to Willner. He absolutely was just like, yeah, I'll just text him. Got us in the league. Me, Keffer, Josh Slate, Welch was already in there. And from there, we just kind of made our name, just made starts every week. And I DM'd Paul and Ford and let them know, hey, I'm a personality for Behind the Wall. I do what I can to help them, but it's not like I'm at the track every week or I'm writing an article every week. I was like, I don't want to be a phony. I don't want you all, thinking, oh, this guy's in here. He does this or that. And they were cool. Ford said, dude, you're in the league. We're in the league. Let's go. And now I'm one of the guys that has some of the most starts in the league. So I owe it all to Chris and Ford, and I continue to help out behind the wall and their podcast, their YouTube page. They do TikTok stuff. They do everything. So behind the wall media, it's cool. I love being a part of it. I love helping those guys out.
Yeah, I saw Slate and another one of you guys at Richmond this past weekend.
Yeah,
To meet the other guy, but yeah.
Probably Adam or Henry. And they've asked me to cover some West Coast stuff, so I might do some of that this year since I'm in Houston. So it's cool. It's cool to help them out, and I appreciate the fact that I have a young family, so I get tied up with a lot of other stuff too. But I really appreciate being a part of this league. It's really awesome, and I really enjoy being a part of the Discord we're in. It's something special, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. I know we've talked about this with our guests in the past, this season, and we just keep saying, how impressive it is, how much this league has progressed between,
Absolutely.
how close you guys are. Some of you guys didn't know each other from left field, before the league even started, and now you guys are some best friends and really close. And you meet up at all the races, even if they're doing work. They still have time to meet up and do whatever. And even outside of race weekends, you guys just still can hang out with each other, and even if it's on Discord, for a few nights. It's crazy how close knit everybody is.
And even just another short little story here. Whenever I flew out to Charlotte for the GoPro race, Massie, me and you were partners in. I talked to Gary Sexton, and he's like, "Wait, you live in Houston?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I live in Houston." He goes, "So do I." So Gary and I started running a go-kart league together out here. Gary Sexton, owner of Podium. So it's just been awesome networking with everyone and just hanging out. I mean, Massie and I shared a hotel room in Charlotte. It was pretty fun. Like it's been cool. Like it's a group of friends, even though we like to bite each other's heads off sometimes. It's such a cool group of people to race with. So
yeah, it's like family at this point. You fight and then
it is.
Right.
Truly is.
Literally.
Even though Massie's a hokey.
Listen, we talked about this off camera. I don't think we're gonna get on this on camera. but anyway, we're gonna move on to next week. You guys are running the next gen at Atlanta, I believe. 2 races to go in the season. So it's winding down. Championship race in 2 weeks. What are your guys' expectations? What do you expect? I know this is the first time all season, I believe the next gen has been used on a non-super speedway track. So what are you guys expecting? Who are you expecting to be good? What do we feel?
Well, I think it's going to be old Atlanta, right? So,
I think so.
That's going to be pretty cool to see. It's going to be about tire conservation and those long runs. I think we'll see some long runs. And those are kind of fun races. I don't know how fun they are to watch, but they're fun to drive. And like a guy like me, I take, and Steve, we take care of our stuff. So like on a long run, you'll see us kind of start moving on up. But yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. And whoever, a race like that, whoever wins it, they will have earned it. It won't be like a Mickey Mouse win or whatever, as people like to say. Yeah, so I think I'm looking forward to it. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, if it was New Atlanta, I would give us a lot better chance to win because super speedway racing tends to be in our favor a little more. But I'm with you. We'll probably be further back in the pack at the start of the race, and then be stronger towards the middle of the run. It just depends on cautions. That's really the determining factor on how we'll do. Will be, all right, we're going to have a long green flag run, or is everyone going to pile them up? You just never know. With M&R, you can think one thing and then the next thing will happen. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll save our stuff because, well, Massie, you know what? We might just be slow and just naturally save our stuff anyways, but we'll
Come
see
on
what
now.
happens.
Come on. No, but
we'll be
listen,
watching.
listen, I personally, I've never driven the next gen on old Atlanta. I mean, I've been on iRacing a ton, so I have not driven it on that track yet. I did drive it actually before the update, like before we knew what it was going to drive like in real life. It felt like the Gen 6, honestly, but I know it's a lot different now. So, I know you guys are gonna I'm just gonna say you're gonna have your hands full. I think you guys know that. But like you said, tire conservation comes into play at that track. And pit strategy could come into play, whether people short pit by a few laps on a long run if you have it. I think it'll be an entertaining race though. I think, both grooves or top and bottom will come into play. Will just be a bottom feeding race. So I'm looking forward to watching. I think you guys will put on a good show.
I think if the car is hard to drive, that skews to the positive side for me, Massie, probably for you too, because we'll take it easy at first and those guys will be pushing it hard up at the front and most likely getting themselves into some trouble. I love it whenever those cars are super loose, and we'll see how they handle it. I've never drove the next gen at Old Atlanta either, so it'll be fun. I have no doubt.
Yeah,
Brandon, just keep Nick out of the back of me.
I will. I promise. Listen, Nick, I'm trying to keep Nick ahead of everybody, okay? So this doesn't happen.
You can do that.
It doesn't always happen, all right? We've seen their fair share.
I know.
But we know. Everybody knows Nick, and I think everybody knows the tendency. But listen, I do the best I could with him, but he knows.
Did, yeah.
No, it's all fun and games.
Exactly.
But yeah. So, like I said, we have 2 races left in the season. Who you guys? I mean, well, some closing thoughts here. Who are we viewing as you think the championship favorite right now with 2 to go? Who do we think is gonna take home the big prize?
I don't know. I have this feeling that it's gonna be Bickford for some reason. That's what he's still in the running, right?
He's still in it.
He finished second last night, I believe.
Yeah. Well,
Massie, we don't even pay attention to those guys, do we?
I get knocked out the race. I'm like, I don't care who wins, But
I mean, he did finish second, although he did throw a block on Stallneck, which kind of created
Someone
the whole
blocked
wreck.
Stallneck?
I could tell. I could tell the shock in your voice there.
Yeah, I'm surprised the universe didn't turn itself inside out whenever someone blocks Stallneck.
Oh man. Oh
give
man.
me Shieldhouse for the champion this year. I don't even hesitate.
Yeah. No, it's a good pick. I mean, I was saying Presley would be the main choice, I think.
That'd be cool.
A couple weeks ago. But I don't know. I feel like lately David's kind of been on a hot streak.
Yeah. David's hot right now.
Yeah. Bickford, he's been up there. I know. I mean, talk about a guy that needs to have like a miracle. Colin Fern. He got wrecked out early last night.
I think he's eliminated now, right?
Oh, is he? I thought he was still in it.
He has to win this week.
He has to win. That's what I thought.
Okay.
He's
my fault,
in like a big points hole and has to win pretty much.
Yeah, I mean he's capable of winning every week. I think we know that.
He is,
last night
he's great.
Yeah, I think last night was just kind of a weird deal with him, and I know him and Nick got into it.
It's kind of one of those deals where it's just like, of course Colin was the one that got the glitch.
Yeah, right.
Because
he
who
was
else
not
would?
happy. I can tell you right now, he was not happy. But
neither
was Nick after that. I will say Nick was not happy after that either. But but anyway, yeah, I think it'll be, you're gonna see some Hail Marys thrown next week if we come down to like a late race restart. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
it'll be interesting though. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, that'll do it for tonight, guys. Great show tonight. Thanks for joining us, Steve. Loved having you on. We're looking forward to watching you guys next week once again with the next gen cars at Old Atlanta. We believe Old Atlanta. Tune in if you guys don't know already. 8 p.m. This upcoming Monday, August 22nd. Podium Esports, twitch.tv/Podium Esports. So for Brandon Hauff, that's Michael Massie. We thank Steve Auffant for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check one of those 2 videos out that we have right beside you. Visit Frontstretch.com for more great content.